Alright, so back to the ranch. I did see I said sticking up from his elephant, and I can see a thread sticking up from one of his noses. That's fine. So we've done all that. So now on my screen, the next thing it wants to do is black. So I need to take my black, and that's on number 2 stand. Bear with me. I do use a thread stand. I absolutely love it. I got a 10 thread stand. In some ways now, I wish you can get them for 20 threads, which would probably be better, because constantly changing one thread on the back of the machine is like, yeah, well, once you get into embroidery, you'll understand. You're like, oh god, what a pain in the ass. So I do really endorse, once you get into a lot of embroidery, that you do get at least a 10 spool stand to the side of your machine. They're not expensive, 30 quid, something like that. You don't have to buy the one for your machine. Oh, go on Amazon or wherever and get, you know, a cheapy one. They're just as good. So now, this is going to do the eyes, well, I would call the mascara, yeah? Because I branched it, it's not starting where I told it to start. It's worked out for itself. So the machine will sew it in the way that the machine says is the most efficient. Right, so that's the end of the black. I can see a thread sticking up there. So I will just cut out that thread, and then I'll get off the black. And I got nice baby blue here. What can I move? I want the pink. Where can I put the baby blue? Oh. Move the black out of the way. Actually, take the black off, as I am not going to want the black anymore, so that can go away. Up there, go away. And the baby blue I'll put where the black was. There you go. Yeah, we're doing the eyes. Start. And while it goes over and does the other eye, I will just cut that thread. And I will just cut that thread. Take out the baby blue. That's all we wanted of that, wasn't it? So now what we want is white, because we're going to do the oh, this is one of my favourite threads, this Superior Thread Magnifico. It's pearlised and I absolutely adore it. Right, so that's on number 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to go through my stand on number 4. Okay, and I just bring that through. So I'm going to do the white now. Load that up. Oh, I love this thread. I absolutely love it. I'm going to pull some back because it's only a tiny little. This is just the highlights at the moment of the eyes, which is a tiny little tiny bit. And it's going to go on now because it's the same colour. It's, well, it may. Oh no, I think because I did pick. No. is going to go on and do the feet, the toenails. Yeah. Well, you don't need to see all this because, you know, one toenail is as good as another, to be honest. Right, I've done the toenails in white, as you can see, and then I switched back to that silver grey to do the tuft of hair that I wanted to do on top of the elephant, okay? So I'm just doing that now in satin stitch. And then the next thing I want is to load up pink to do the name at the bottom. But you may do, instead of putting this tuft of hair in, you may decide to put the name, you know, up in this direction. It's entirely your decision, your elephant, your pattern. Okay, so now we come down where we're going to actually do, I'm using this lovely baby pink to match the ears. So I'm just going to very quickly whip that up into my stand, number 3. Okay. Up and under, down and through, through and through and through. Load it. There it is loaded, that's brilliant. Pull that to one side so I know it's loaded. Yep, there we go. I might pull that back up here. And I'm going to do the name Ellie now. Ellie Elephant. As I said to you before, when we were in the digitising stage, this is a very, very fast introduction into putting a name on. There's so much more that goes with lettering that I need to teach you, and I will do just a tutorial on using lettering and how to arc it, how to move the baseline, how to move certain letters together, certain letters apart, all kinds of things. But this was a very basic, if you want to put a name on, this is how you do it. Okay? Right, and I'm just going to grab that loose end and cut it off. So there's the name Ellie on. Okay, and that's in pink, and I don't want it to be in pink. Well, It can be, actually, because this is just now where we're going to tie down the ribbon with the clip on. So now I've got to the spot where I'm ready to put on a ribbon and, you know, keyringy bit. But to be honest with you, now we've done all the embroidery. So I am going to just rip it away. See what I'm doing? I'm literally ripping that away. I got a little bit here, round that squirrely bit of the mouth, yeah. I got a little teeny bit now stuck. Got anything else stuck anywhere? No, can't see it, can't see it, can't see it. So it's all nice and fluffy. But you see how my stitches are riding on top? You probably won't, not until I show it to you. I got a little bit stuck in that swirl. So I'm just using the end of my pointed scissors. And I'm just digging out. There we are, it's gone. It is wash away, but I find that you can pull it away. It's you know, it's only like a bit of flimsy, bit of cling film. Right. So now we're ready. I've put the grey back in and I'm putting down literally a stitch to say, well, this is where, if you're adding a keyring element, that's where it's going to go. Right, so that's a placement stitch. Yeah, and it's gone back to start again. So I'm just cutting off that end. I'm getting a bit of ribbon. I've got a bit of ribbon here, and I'm putting my keyring element. This is probably far too big, to be honest. I'm putting my keyring element on that bit of ribbon. Yeah, it's far too big. You only really want like 3 inches, to be honest, right? So, because I don't want this to be too long, but I'm placing it in place, facing downwards. Yeah. And then I get it start. And that's going to sew it. In place for me. Now I'm going to bring it forward, bring the whole thing forward. And say, well, first off, cut off that bit there. And then I'm going to trim this already. I am just going to trim this to about, oh, those scissors are no good. I'm going to trim this to about, yeah, 1/4 inch. See? Get rid of that. So that's my little keyring bit put in place. Now the very next thing that we need to do is to get hold of our second, because we're ready to go now. We've done everything. So I'm getting hold of my second bit of fleece and I'm putting it on nice side down, fleece, lovely fleecy side down, yeah. I'm still going to use the grey, yeah, but that's on top. And as you can see, everything is faced inwards, okay. And this is the line that's going to go around and then go back and go around again. It's going to hold the whole thing together, but it's going to leave that gap, which is where we're going to be able to put the stuffing in. Now you see, I haven't got to the top. It's now reversing, and it's going to go the other way around until the top, and then it will finish, and that'll be the end of our sewing in the hoop. And I'll show you what we do next. But I'm sat down now, and I hope I got everything in front of me that you can see it. So this is where we left it, coming out of the hoop. Okay. Now I must say to you, this is the third version that I've done. So let's take it out of the hoop and put the hoop away, out of our sight. Every time I do it, it gets better. She says. Base fingers crossed. But I think this is the way to go. So once you've done it, okay, there's the back, yeah? So there's the back of our ellie, if you can see that. Okay, that's the back of the stitching. We don't need to do anything to that. So what we need to do now, we need, these are pinking shears. They're not the triangle-y type pinking shears. I got a few different pairs, and I actually like these. I don't know, because I just like look at them. So I'm going round roughly a 1/4 inch, if you can see, around the outside of my little elephant, following it around. So it's just under a 1/4. Ooh. Don't go mad, don't go too near stitching. But obviously you don't want a huge amount left in your stitching. And the reason I'm using pinking shears is because that saves us having to make all these tiny little cuts every time you go around a curve. Because the pinking shears will do it for you. That's why I like pinking shears. Now, when it comes to the bit that we need to stop there and go out, because when it comes to the bit, let me just get rid of that excess. The bit that we need to tuck in, we don't need it that big, but we do want it wider than the 1/4 inch we're doing around the body. Alright, so let's move that. Can you see that my stitching stopped there and started there, or whichever way round? So I've made that bit much bigger than the rest of my pinking around the animal. Okay, because I need to tuck that in. Now the next thing we need to do, obviously, is turn it the right way out. So I haven't left a great deal of space, to be honest. Could have left more. So there's something for you. You could have left more, but I'll manage. So I'll go down to the furthest end, and I always see what I just did there. I put my finger in so I get to that furthest end. Yeah, put my thumb on it so I can more or less turn it inside out before I get anywhere near the exit. Alright, and then I can poke it through and grab hold of it and just pull a little bit. Now I'll pull a little bit And this is one occasion where, you know, yeah, it's going to go eventually, but you don't have to be forceful. You just need to coax it, coax it, coax it, coax it. Yeah, pull little bits, pull bits back, and just coax it. And if you get another bit, oh, just coax it. You can't be rough. You just gotta, if it gives you a centimetre, that's good, yeah? So you're just coaxing it. Pull a little bit, move around, pull another little bit, move around, pull another little bit, move around. Yeah, it will take a little while, but you're coaxing it. Alright. Now, this is the bit that's got the metal work in it, so you might have to bring out the metal work, if I can, out the way. There, that's better. Now, it'll probably get better. Like, yes, you see? Because I got the metal work out the way. Righty-ho. Now I can put my finger in, and I can, there, you see? So now I can shove my finger in, and I can go round the actual seam, bringing it out the way I want it with my fingernail. You could use a chopstick, you could use a turning tool, all kinds of things. And the last bit is I haven't got this top of the ear out, have I? No. So my finger in, pushing all the way around, working around that seam. I'm lucky because I got fingernails. If you haven't, use a chopstick and bring that bit out. There we are. Now, so, oh yes, I'm very pleased with that, very pleased. I'll do a close-up of this when I finished so that you can really see it. So now, these are the parts that we are going to have to tuck in and sew, but not until we've stuffed it. So, where's my stuffing? Here we are. Bag of toy stuffing. What's this called? Craft Factory Super Soft Toy Stuffing. Banbury's. Oh, where was I when I bought that then? Obviously away in the caravan. So I'm going to pull out. I don't know what I'm going to need. Usually more than you think. So I'm going to pull out a bit of toy stuffing. And I just take, you know, bits at a time. And using my finger, start to shove it in. Yeah, and when I shove it in, I try and take it to the extreme parts first. I don't want to overstuff it, okay? Don't want to overstuff it. But I do want it to be 3D. I want it to look 3D, yeah? And I just want to do a little bit more up in the other ear for a moment. Away from me. The first part's away from me first. If you let me. If you don't mind. Alright, because I got a plan. Yeah, so now I'm pushing that up into that ear space. I got a bit missing. I got to put another bit in because I got a bit missing, I think, in the middle. In what I consider the middle of the side of the elephant, yeah. So I'm pushing that all over, yeah. But I got a gap here now. I got, like, if you can see, I've stuffed all around here, but I got a gap there, and that's got nothing in it. So I got a little gap there. Now why? Why have I got a little gap there? Because I got a little special that I'm going to put in here. Alright, so the reason why I'm doing this is because if you've got little ones or dogs, to be honest, although I put a keyring on this, so I will do another one that hasn't got a keyring on it. If you're doing a stuffy for killing ink, you've got a choice. This is a little rattle that you could put in, Or this is a dog squeaker you could put in. My dogs go mad after this sort of thing. I make a load of dog. I make, you know, stuffies all the time. And just for the dogs. Could see them. I have to show you a collection of ones I just make for the dogs. Anyway, so, ooh, my hole's not very big, is it? This, well, make it small, shove it in, let the air get back into it once it's in. Right. So I want to poke that so it goes, yeah, more or less into the middle, yeah. So now, there it is. So I poke that in, the bin somewhere in the middle. And then I can use more stuff in now to fill up all the rest of the gap. What do you want it in? Bum bum. Down this side now. You don't ever want to stuff with huge bits because it gets real lumpy and it's not the same, right? So you've got to, you know, little by little add it in, keeping him in the middle. Little by little add it in as you go. Alright. So until, yeah, you're, yeah, I'm quite content now. I just want to push some up into that ear, yeah, so that the top's nice. Yeah, okay. Right, I think I'm ready to sew it now. I think I'm ready. So I might put a bit in, I don't know. I'm seeing how it goes. No, I think I'm done and I think I'm ready. Looking at it conservatively, I could have made this a bit wider and those a bit wider, looking at it now. But I'm very happy. You see why I didn't want to do the toenails too close to the edge, because there's all, you know, when it's taken up with the stuffing, otherwise you lose it. So I think I'm ready to go now. So this is my edge that needs to be pushed in. So I can see where it needs to go. I'm going to put the back in. Just push the back in, yeah. And I can see the silver line of where it needs to be stitched. Yeah, so I need those to meet up to finish the stuffy. So using a bit of the original silver thread that I've done it all with, and a needle and my needle threader. So I'm just gonna, very rarely see me do hand sewing. I really don't like it. But it's not that I don't like it. What's going on that girl? There. It's not that I don't like it, it makes my hand cramp. So I avoid it very much. So I just pull that through the needle. Yeah, so now I've loaded my needle and I want to do what they call a ladder stitch here, which pulls it together as if it was a proper seam. Alright, so I'll come in at the very top, yeah, I leave quite a long end. This is not doubled over, it's just that I seem to have a very long end. which is the right end to pull. Not that one, that one. That's better, so it's not so long. Right, so I leave, you know, not that long, but quite a long end here. I've just gone through, and now I'll go through at the very top of the stitching that I want to do. I'll go through again, and I'll make, as you can see, I'm pulling up a loop here. Yeah, can you see? I'm pulling up a loop. Yeah, and then I'll put my needle, before I close it, I'll put my needle through that loop, and that'll make a knot. Okay, that makes a knot. So then I can take this long end and throw it into the stuffie. Just push it in to the actual stuffie to get rid of it. I don't want it, right? Easier said than done. Don't want it. Go away, right? So now I with that long end put in there. Ooh, it doesn't want to go. I'm bringing up the stuffie to where I can see. Yeah, there's my stitch line. Yeah, there's my stitch line, to which I want it to meet the back. Okay. Oh, will you go away, you stupid bit of cloth, stupid bit of... There we go. Right. So now, I ladder stitch. I'll do a long stitch this side of the stuffie. Okay, and then it's going across the gap. I'll do a downward stitch that side of the stuffie. Then I come back over and do a downward stitch this side of the stuffie, and a downward stitch, keeping it, poking it out of the way, keeping it uniform. Downward stitch that side of the stuffie. I hope you can see that I am, my cross stitches are making like a ladder effect. Yeah, you don't have to put them tight yet. Go back and take a downward stitch on the back, and then come across and take the downward stitch on the front. You don't have to put them tight yet, doesn't matter. Downward stitch on the back, downward stitch on the front, and then a downward stitch on the back. Yeah, and now, because I'm nearly at the end, now I'll take my thread, and one thing that's annoying me is that underlying thread, but I'll take my thread now and I'll pull it tight. I'm going to pull it loose again. I'm going to very well pull it loose again, because that bit of thread is supposed to be inside the stuffie. Yeah. Have I got rid of it now? So now I can pull my thread tight. Yeah? So it's almost like a sewn seam. That's ladder stitch. I'll just get my needle. And now to finish it off, yeah, I'll go over the top, put on my thimble because it's getting stiff now. Right, yeah, what have I gone through? I'm going to put it down on the table and push it through. Right, let's and as I bring that loop up to close it, I will go once, twice through that loop, and that forms a knot. That forms a knot the other end. Right? So now I can get, well, I haven't got a pair of scissors now, but now I can snip that off and it's done. Right? So now I can snip that thread and that's done. Oop. All that is done. So there is my finished stuffy, and I think it's really good up to, you know, what we did before, and it's got a squidgy in it. I can see a tiny little thread on that crown. I just want to pinch off. And this is one with a keyring on, so you can, you know, you could use it as a keyring. Obviously the back is plain, but the front is beautiful. So I now need, what I am going to do, I'm going to make another one now, because this is for someone, and she didn't actually want a keyring on it, but I have to show you making the keyring. But what I am going to do is just go back, and the only thing I can see wrong with it, in my point of view, is I could have done the lines and the trunk a little fatter. So I think we did it at 1.0. I think I could go back up, and I think I could do it at 2, to be honest. 2 would be good. Alright, but there it is. It's done, it's finished, and I love it.